Hey, Franklin Chapel. I wanted to take a moment and talk about membership at Franklin Chapel. I know it can be confusing, and many of us have come from different denominations and backgrounds and traditions that view membership in a different way. So I wanted to put this video out there, so if you ever have any questions, you can always look to this as a resource to understand how does membership work at Franklin Chapel. Now, before I get into how our membership works, I want you to know that this is an evolving thing. With us only being a year and a half old, the way we view membership might change as we change. So just know what it is today may change down the road. But I want to make sure everybody knows how we are existing right now. So first question I want to answer, do you have to be a member of Franklin Chapel? No, you don't. Different people feel different about membership. But you do not have to be a member to come to Franklin Chapel. You can show up, you can participate, you can be in the ministries, and you can even be on committees without being a member. Now, we do have membership set up, so if you want to take an extra step, if you want to have that extra official step that says, hey, I'm invested in the mission and vision of Franklin Chapel, you have the option to become a member. The way you become a member happens in a pretty simple way. Number one is you attend a membership orientation. Now, membership orientation happens nearly every single month, once a month throughout the year, and it happens before church at 8:30. Occasionally, there will be a different one, but for almost every month, there's one at 8:30 on Sunday mornings before Sunday school and before church. So all you have to do is sign up for one of those, attend a membership orientation, and then you will make it known to myself or to another pastor that you want to be a member. And on a Sunday, we will bring you before the congregation and we will do two things. Number one is we will do a profession of faith. Now, our profession of faith is really simple. It basically asks you, do you want to follow Jesus? Are you going to abide and follow his ways? And are you committed to this core of Christianity that people have believed for 2,000 years? What's really great about it, if you I get a little nervous speaking in front of people, the profession of faith we actually say as a congregation. So if you want to become a member, you come up front and the whole congregation says the profession of faith with you. And then I will ask you a question. I will ask you if you will support Franklin Chapel with your presence, your witness, your giving, and your service. And if you can answer yes, then you will become official member. Now, we do have one more part to membership. As a member of Franklin Chapel, we do ask and want to recognize your baptism. So if you have been baptized before, whether that was in the Catholic Church, the Methodist Church, or any other Christian denomination or background, we accept that baptism. We see that it is valid and that you don't have to be baptized by us to have been baptized. So if you've been baptized, just let us know and we will acknowledge that. If you have not been baptized, we want to make sure that happens. We see it very clearly in Scripture. Jesus modeled it for us that if we're going to follow Jesus, he tells us, go and baptize. And that if we want to be a part of the faith, this is a step that we take. So if you haven't been baptized, we would love to schedule a time for you to get baptized. And so again, that's the 3-step process: a membership orientation, a profession of faith, and then recognize your baptism. Now, the question is, how do I remain a member? Because there are some rules when it comes to remaining a member. To remain a member, you have to attend a membership orientation once every 3 years. Now, that's not too bad. And what these membership orientations do, they don't only onboard you to the church, but they let you know who we are as a church at any particular time. So you going to a membership orientation this year might look very different than coming to one next year. A membership orientation is for anybody, new members or people that want to renew their membership. If you haven't been to a membership orientation in 3 years, you simply roll off of our membership roll and you are no longer a member. Now, again, you can come to church, you can still be involved in the church, but you're not on our membership roll. And if that ever happens, you can simply become a member again by attending a membership orientation. Now, we have a special, a specific type of membership that is called a voting member. And a voting member get to vote every year at our annual meeting. Our annual meeting and any other meetings called before the church. For instance, last year, we had a meeting called to vote on the land that we purchased over the 15 acres of land that we purchased. And we had a meeting, and if you were a voting member, you got to vote on that land. Now, to be a voting member, two things have to happen. One, you have to be 18. So sorry, kids, you're not allowed to vote. But once you're 18, you can vote. And then the second thing is that you have to have been to a membership orientation in the last year. So in the last 12 months. And we think this is important because if you want to be able to make decisions at Franklin Chapel, if you want to have a say in a vote, then you have to make the small effort to make one of the membership orientations. Now, if you're sitting there and you're like, man, that is a lot of work. What if I can't make it to a membership orientation and it just doesn't work out? I want to say there are a couple options. The first thing is every September, we do a membership orientation during the service. So if you show up to that particular Sunday, it counts as your membership orientation and you are able to vote. The other thing we always want to let people know is that when we're going to have a vote, for instance, if we're going to have the annual meeting or we're going to have a called church vote, we will always offer a membership orientation the day of that meeting. So when we have our when we have our annual members meeting, there will always be that morning an opportunity for you to show up to renew your membership and for you to be able to vote. The other thing is, if it becomes a problem and you cannot make it, all you have to do is give me a call, talk to Pastor David, talk to Pastor Jesse, and we will make sure that your membership orientation gets renewed. That way, you have the opportunity to vote. We don't want this to be a hurdle, but we want our members to have to make a little bit of effort to be able to vote and be a part of this congregation. So I don't know if I've covered everything here, but I hope this gives you a baseline and answers some of the questions you may have. Again, feel free to reach out to me for any problems, any questions, and I'd be happy to walk with you through this. I hope you have a good day. I don't know how to say to end this, so see you later.